Hi, everyone. This is Stephanie Trakel, Director of Church Administration here at St. Paul. I am pre-recording the 2021 budget presentation in anticipation of our June 16th congregation meeting to give everyone an opportunity who isn't able to attend an opportunity to review the budget and ask any questions they may have. So we will get started. The 2021 budget will be starting July 1st of 20 and running through June 30th of 21. This is a snapshot of our budget. Just to orientate you to the sheet, along the far left side, you will see all of our categories. The top half is our income. The middle section is our expenses. The first blue column shows our actual expenses from last year. That would be July of 2018 through June of 2019. And you can see there that as you make your way towards the bottom where you see surplus deficit, last year we ended the year with a deficit of $39,710. That was then covered because we need to finish the year at a zero balance by money that had been put aside from previous years and have been placed into the ministry development account, which is a dedicated account, which is almost like a savings account. So that money was then pulled from that account to cover our expenses for the remainder of last year. If you look into the yellow column, you will see what we are projecting our expenses and income to be through the end of June 2020. As you can see down towards the bottom, we are anticipating a surplus of $16,857. I've added 2 rows at the bottom there. During our shutdown and the COVID crisis, we were able to apply for the Payroll Protection Program, which was a federal loan which will be converted into a grant upon completion. We are in the middle of that at this point. Basically, it is a loan forgiveness program with different things such as salary and utilities being able to be forgiven. So you will see there $169,372. I am anticipating and estimating will be granted towards our church, which then would give us a year-end income surplus of $186,228. That surplus then will be placed into the ministry development dedicated account that I described from the previous year where we had a deficit. So that would then be money that could be used for the future if we are not able to meet our budget. Then if you look at the 2020-21 final budget column, that light blue, you will see what we are anticipating our income and expenses to be for this next upcoming year. And in order to cover all of those expenses, we are looking at a 6.3% increase over actual giving this fiscal year. So that is less than many previous years. We have looked to cut a lot of expenses. What we have done in here, we've budgeted 10 months of a third pastor in anticipation of hopefully hiring somebody in that regard. What makes up the $1.3 million in expenses? This is a simple snapshot. It is primarily staffing and benefits that go along with that. We are a service industry. We are people, so that is very common in a church setting. You can see our building and grounds is another chunk, $113,000 of that. That's everything from the heat and utilities to plowing the parking lot to taking care of the lawn and all sorts of heating and cooling and those sorts of bills that come in. Then we have support and administrative expenses. This is Bible studies, devotional materials, office supplies, paper, all those sorts of things that come in. ECC support, the school is not able to cover all of their expenses, and we want to keep our tuition manageable for families to be able to continue using our ministry. Therefore, we as a church have committed to supporting our school, and this year that would be in the amount of $138,000. Then mission and outreach is $156,000. This is money that goes to support local and synod missions, as well as outreach such as supporting Lutheran High and other community events and ministries such as the Hispanic Ministry and Loving. Finally, our last category is ministry expenses. These are things very specific to youth ministry, children's ministry, all of the materials that they need, any types of studies that are done, and that sort of thing. So this year, I mentioned we have a 6.3% increase. That actually equates to $75,781. And this is how that is broken out. The majority of it is going to additional support for our school. And given the conditions right now in our environment and the pandemic, we are anticipating lower enrollment for the school simply because of having to use social distancing and those sorts of things. So we are anticipating a decrease in some of our tuition. Hopefully that is not the case, but we wanted to be conservative with our numbers. Then you'll see 15% are expenses that were not incurred in 2020 due to the pandemic. So in March, April, and May, there were expenses that we had budgeted for and anticipated spending, and those just simply didn't happen. But we would anticipate they will be happening next year, so we still need to budget for them. Health insurance and benefit increases every year. Concordia increases our health insurance benefit costs and those sorts of things. The employees do pay a portion, and that percentage is transferred to them as well, but we do anticipate an increase in cost, which happens every year. We are going to be adding seminary support for a son of our congregation who is going to be joining the seminary. In the past, we have always supported the sons of the congregation going into the seminary, and we plan to continue doing so this next year. We have had some merit and wage adjustments for staff salaries, which would result in a 7% of the increase, and then just other slight adjustments and things that we anticipate increased costs. Finally, I want to present the capital improvement plan. Every year we try to take a look at expenses that will be occurred in the next 4 or 5 years to just try to map out that account. We have used a good chunk of this dedicated account this past year, past 2 years actually, when we worked on the HVAC upgrade. So now we're trying to spread out our costs to make good use of the dollars given to that fund. So for the next fiscal year, we are looking at improving our Wi-Fi throughout the building. It is a cause for concern from many different people using the building at different times, different ministries occurring, and we really need to update that and bring technology forward. We would like to convert the LED lighting in the fellowship hall. This would be a cost savings, and right now when we have to change bulbs in there, we have to bring in a lift. It takes a great deal of effort to replace the light bulbs in the fellowship hall, and so the hope would be if we can replace them with LED, it would be a cost savings, plus just the simple maintenance of getting those bulbs replaced. The LED bulbs would last a lot longer. There is a air conditioning condenser that is for the worship center that is anticipated to be failing, but we don't want to replace it until it does. So we are just kind of earmarking it, and when it does go out, we would replace it at the cost of $23,000. We're looking at updating the gathering area chairs, and our phone system is also becoming outdated and will need some upgrades. So these things are things we're just kind of looking at. We know that they are going to be happening and coming up in the near future. All of those things then still would go to the congregation for approval, since their cost is a lot higher, so that we will just take as the year goes on. So that is the budget presentation for this upcoming year. If you have any questions on it, I ask that you either call the church office and talk with me, or you can email me at stephaniet@stpaulfalls.com. And those questions then we will answer during the congregation meeting on June 16th. That way everybody can be part of that discussion. So please submit all of your questions to me by Friday, June 12th, so that we can have those in time for the meeting. And I encourage you to join us at the congregation meeting on June 16th at 6:30 p.m. We will be live streaming it, so you can just come to our website homepage like you did now, and you should be able to click on the link and join the conversation. Thank you very much for your interest, and I hope you all have a good day.